The media and marketing director will be responsible for not only the oversight of these three managers, but the coordination with volunteers in the financial department to make them happen. And then finally, we have the volunteers department headed up by the volunteers director. He or she will have 5 subordinate managers, each being a volunteers team manager. These individuals are each responsible for a team of 5 staff volunteers. Directors will request staff volunteers for certain tasks they may need to have done. They will do this through the volunteers director. The volunteers director will then assign a volunteers team manager to the task. The volunteers team manager will get his or her team of volunteers organized to accomplish the task. They will need to motivate and encourage the team and do everything possible to ensure the task is completed and to standard. The volunteers team manager should also work with the volunteers director to keep their team constantly staffed at 5 staff volunteers through recruiting efforts. By redesigning our team structure, I believe we'll improve not only communication, but performance and motivation as well. And like we do everything else, we will continue evaluating ourselves, take advice from you guys, improve what we need to improve, and change what we need to change. React and adapt. That's what it's all about. Now let's get into expectations of team members. That is one area that some of you have kind of talked about, and one of the areas Mike, Sherry, and I identified as something we haven't done very well as leaders. And that's to lay out exactly what is expected from you as a team member. So I sat down and determined exactly what we as a campaign need from our team members to ensure our success all the way up to Election Day. And what I'm asking for from you, from January 2009 until January 2010, is simply 4 hours per month of your time. In just a couple of seconds, I'm going to go over some of the activities we have already determined we are going to be doing next year, and we will surely come up with many more, but there will certainly be 4 hours of work per month per team member. I believe 1 hour per week is not excessive, and it shouldn't create conflicts with your normal everyday life. And if 1 week you just simply can't find an hour to give up, all I ask is you make that hour up the next week and do 2 hours instead of 1. This will ensure that we are consistent, we are constantly communicating, and we are always on the same page. Now don't worry, we are not planning any major events next year, so your hour of work will not be cooking spaghetti or cutting out stencils like we did in November. In fact, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things we will be doing. 1 month we can post volunteers at each door of the courthouse and greet people as they are coming in. We'll ask them if they need help finding a particular office or if there is anything else we could do to help them out. We will also give them a magnet or flyer as well. 1 month we could post volunteers at the mall or other common gathering places to again pass out business cards, magnets, bumper stickers, etc. We'll also begin putting out yard signs with my name and website address. We'll be setting up booths at local events such as the Block Party and Relay for Life. We'll be having a float in the Christmas parade. We'll even do simple things like getting t-shirts and having people walking around a sporting event. All of these things and much more will require manpower, and 1 hour per month per volunteer should make a huge difference in fighting the battle of name recognition. Other efforts for next year could include newspaper ads, radio ads, TV ads, banners at sporting events, and so much more, focused again solely on getting my name out there, not necessarily issues. And we can get creative with the stuff as well. For instance, how many political ads have you ever seen that were funny? No, I've never seen one. So instead of addressing where I stand on a particular issue, considering the perception has us too early to talk issues anyway, we can think of some humorous ads to do that portray me as the fun and exciting new face to politics. Creativity, communication, and execution are the keys to our success. The last thing I want to talk about today is the campaign philosophy, or the campaign vision. Our vision must be clearly understood and easily communicated by each and every team member. From top-level leadership to staff volunteers, everyone must be able to articulate and explain what this campaign stands for. Why am I running? Well, let me say it's not because I dislike Gary Davis or any member of his staff. It's certainly not because I like the personal attacks that have already happened and will continue to happen for the next 2 years. I'm not the biggest fan in the world of the time I have to spend away from my family and how much they have to sacrifice in all this mess too. The reason my wife and I have decided to take on this daunting task is because of something so much bigger than you and I will ever be. little brother David taught me that even the most normal person can make such a huge difference. When he died in 2006 in Iraq, literally tens of thousands of people rallied around our family and spoke with a very loud voice of support and appreciation for what he did. I still talk to people today who say his death changed their lives. David didn't set out to be a hero. He simply placed the mission first. Now, I'm included in the list of people whose lives were changed by David's sacrifice. He taught me to take the talents and passions that God has granted each of us with and use them towards something bigger than just myself. It's a lesson I've been taught since I was a little boy, but I've never really experienced the power of its reality in such a way as I did then. My passion that was already established for government and public policy was then ignited with a new passion to help people, and my candidacy was created. I'm not running for a job. I've got one of those. I am running to truly make a difference in public service. I want to throw out the current political environment and get back to good, strong, conservative principles and honest service by representation. That is not a slogan or a marketing ploy. It is the center of my passion. Like me, I know you and probably every other citizen is so tired of politics as usual as well. This campaign has to be about so much more than just me. People don't change people. Desire changes people. We must reignite the desire inside of the people of Bradley County to take back their government and restore it back to what it should be. We are about restoration, reconciliation, and moving forward. We accomplish this through unity and collaboration of many different minds from many different walks. When I take office, the people of Bradley County will finally have a say again in how their government runs. And we must remind them that our local government affects their lives on every single level. So their involvement and approval is essential. We can have the greatest road signs or bumper stickers, but if our team does not embrace this philosophy and basically eat, drink, sleep, and breathe it, we will lose in 2010. And in my opinion, so will the people of Bradley County. Just as our victory will be more than just a victory for Team Chris, our defeat would likewise be a defeat for many citizens of this community who need our help. I believe victory and defeat will be measured in paychecks or insurance costs, quality of education or protection for your children, our roads, our taxes, and everything in between. This is not a game. This is the lives of nearly 100,000 people we're talking about. And while the prospect of grasping that is overwhelming, we must and we will take the responsibility seriously. Each team member must take hold of that thought and place Bradley County above their own self-interest. Believe me when I tell you, when you get your heart and mind to that place, you will be so much closer to everything that matters in life. You will find peace where there seems to be none. You will get help where you thought you were finished. Every aspect of your life will have greater and more significant meaning than you could have ever imagined, all because you stopped working on you and started working on behalf of your neighbors, friends, and co-workers, and I'm saying this from experience. That is the philosophy of Chris Weir 2010. And with that, I conclude this campaign strategy brief. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise, do not hesitate to give me, Sherry, or Mike a call. God bless each of you, and thank you so much for your efforts thus far and your efforts in the future.